The Rams hope to improve to 3-0 on the season as they welcome a familiar foe tonight in the Bryan College Lions here at the Dome. Bluefield takes on the Lions here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Hello, everybody. My name is Bailey Engel. We are glad to have you with us at the Dome Gymnasium for a very familiar matchup between two teams that actually faced each other 3 times last season. When they were here at the Dome, Bluefield ended up winning that game by 3, and then they bested the Lions in the AAC tournament in Kingsport, Tennessee. But now they go up against a Bryan College team that is 3-3 on the year and 1-1 in the conference, coming off of a loss to the St. Andrews Knights down in North Carolina. As for Bluefield, they look strong in their AAC debut over the weekend. A win against Point, winning that game in overtime, 192-95, as they send out Taekwon Reed, who is leading the team with 22 points per game. David Tripp, Jorge Concepcion, the leading scorer from a year ago. Donnell Gooch and Jeremiah Jenkins, one of the standout freshmen from a season ago. But now in the middle of the tip, Bluefield with the white jerseys and Bryan with the red as Gooch goes right to left. Ball's in the air and tips it to David Tripp, who feeds Taekwon Reed. Rams looking for a solid start on the year. Last time they were here at the Dome, they beat Bluefield State 79-65 after trailing at halftime. Jenkins feeds into the right wing for Taekwon Reed. Back around the arc they go. Concepcion pumps a 3 and swishes from the left corner. Good start for Jorge Concepcion, and the Rams are already on the board 3-0. Now taking the ball up, it's Devontae G, the junior point guard. He has to watch out for E.J. Bush, who is not on the floor right now, but he was freshman of the year a season ago. Spinning around in the paint, lobbing up a shot, and missing is the big man, Riley Dempsey, and is pulled away by Bluefield. Concepcion winning a race to the basket. Reverse layup can't go. Stick back can't fall for David Tripp. Tips the ball out of bounds off of the hands of Bryan's Keaton Dotson, and Bluefield will have a left side of the basket inbounds with 19:14 left to go in the first half. Going to be a fun one, folks. Every one of these games was decided by about 2 possessions or more. As Taekwon Reed chucks the ball towards the top of the key. Donnell Gooch, the tallest player on the floor, hands it off to Taekwon Reed. Couple of step-back moves. Now out of a double team. Skates under the lane and lobs a pass off of the hands off of Donnell Gooch. So it goes right back to Bryan. Rams with an early turnover. That will not be favored by Richard Morgan, now in his 10th season as the head man of Bluefield College men's basketball. Got here back in 2009, trying to get back to the NAIA tournament. Taking the ball is G towards the top of the key, met up by Jeremiah Jenkins. Drive right side of the paint, pickpocketed, and Bluefield forces a turnover against Bryan. Can Bluefield move the ball quickly in transition? Taekwon Reed fires for 3, swish from the right wing. Taekwon Reed getting it started early. 6-0 with 18:35 left in the first half. 22 points per game. Or the transfer from Vance Granville Community College. Got off to a great start last year. Now Bluefield poised to try to make a national tournament run as Dotson lobs up a tray and rattles it home. Did he have a foot on the line? Still waiting on the call. He did not. So it will count as a triple from the top of the arc. 6-3, Rams leading by just 1 shot with 18:10 left in the first half. Now Jeremiah Jenkins, a very small point guard, but a guy with a ton of ball control and a great basketball IQ, just 5'8", going over into the right wing, matched up man-to-man by G. Takes the ball up, cross-court pass to Jorge Concepcion. In the corner, lobs up a tray, rattles away, no good, and a rebound pulled down by the defense in G. So here's Devontae G, a hard jab step in that far corner, chest pass top of the key, hoping for help, as Clay Hurdle hauls it in. Into the game for the first time, Isaiah McLean, entry pass down low. Dempsey matched up with Gooch, backs in, underhands to Keaton Jones, and the finger roll falls on a great little handoff, kind of like in football, into the paint. 6-5 the score. 17:23 left to go in the first half. Off of a screen, Jeremiah Jenkins, out of a screen he goes, and a foul will be called on Donnell Gooch on a moving screen, gives the ball right back to Bryan. That stops the clock at 17:19 left. Rams going on the road to Ohio at Rio Grande on November 16th, and then they're going to be back on Saturday for another AAC matchup against Columbia International. Keaton Jones pumps a tray, front iron, no good. Dempsey down with the rebound, though. So here comes Isaiah McLean, blocked in the lane. Bluefield still trying to fight for the ball as McLean picks it back up. Euro step and a tip pass hauled in by G. Feeds up top. Jones is blocked by David Tripp. Here comes Tripp on the cherry picking end, jumps towards the basket and swishes it home. 8-5 the score. Rams back up by 3. 16:40 on the clock. Rams back in that man-to-man defense. Jeremiah Jenkins matched up with G. G has about 3 inches on him, standing at 5'11". Here's McLean in the front part of that corner. Around the arc they go. Bryan coming off of a loss. Dempsey on the right block, backing into a double team. Bounces it into the left block, and McLean fights up for that layup to go. 8-7 the score. Rams back up by just 1. They've hit a 3 from Concepcion as well as Taekwon Reed. Rams are a team that can live and die by the tray. Taekwon Reed comes off of a screen, now on a double team, finds Concepcion, who walked before he went down the baseline on a drive. 4 minutes have elapsed nearly. It's 16:01 on the clock. So it'll be pass inbounds for Keaton Jones. Ante G. Rams going with a full court man-to-man press as Jeremiah Jenkins is matched up with the point guard. Bluefield can't afford to be slow starting out against a better team like Bryan. As G. Euro steps in the lane. He's hacked. Here come the Rams with numbers. Jenkins feeds to Taekwon Reed. His Euro step in the lane. He is brought down, but David Tripp picks up the pieces and banks it off for the window for 2 to make it 10-7. Bluefield leading by 3. That's good for Bluefield to have that speed. They're one of the faster teams in the AAC. Of course, they were picked to finish 5th in the conference. Tough to beat a team like Union, but the Rams had them on the ropes at the beginning of the year. Brandon Thomas underhands to Jones, who nails another triple from the top of the arc to make it 10-10. Bluefield in a tight one so far. Nearly 5 minutes have gone by. As Jenkins walks across the timeline and gives to David Tripp at the top of the circle. Bluefield looking for a 3 as Taekwon Reed has it now, feeds top of the key to Jenkins, and an offensive foul going on David Tripp. Tripp begging and pleading for a call. And now Naquan Cousins will come in for Tripp. So for Naquan Cousins, maybe one of the better athletes on the team, David Tripp might be a little bit better of a sheer basketball player, but for Naquan Cousins can elevate to the rim. 10-10 the score. G trying to take the lead for Bryan. A crossover dribble as he goes across that Rams logo. Met up on defense by Jeremiah Jenkins. Passes top of the key. Brandon Thomas gives it on the other side of the circle for Keaton Jones, who lets a free fly, and it goes off of the back iron. And the Rams take the lead once again. Jeremiah Jenkins cross-court lob to Taekwon Reed, who now on a hip-high dribble, works left off of a screen, picks back up off a double team, decides to let it fly for 3, and swishes in the face of 2 Lions. 13-10, second triple of the night for Taekwon Reed, and Bryan wasting no time to get back on the other end. McLean's entry pass is tipped and stolen by Reed. Straight right to left he goes, lost the ball, tipped, and picked up by Jorge Concepcion for Bluefield. Now hopes for help. Rams have been erratic so far. Now another entry pass to Naquan Cousins, who gallops into the left block, and he is hacked on the way there. That's the first foul on Bryan. Austin Douglas into the game. McLean goes out for Bryan. By the way, that foul called on Keaton Dotson, that's his first. Jenkins pops an entry pass into Jorge Concepcion into the corner with 14 minutes left in the first half. Concepcion transitions towards the top of the circle and hands off Jeremiah Jenkins. Returns Concepcion right wing. Round the arc they go with Taekwon Reed now an 8 to shoot. Concepcion a head fake, pops from the elbow, swirls around and a miss. He has not been sharp in the first half so far at the Dome this year. Here comes G going coast to coast and backs out into the corner. Jenkins steps up on defense. A zip down low to Brandon Thomas in the left block. Matched up with him is Gooch. Steps a pass out to Jones, who fires another 3 and misses. Rebound for Douglas. Putback is an air ball, but a foul is called on Bluefield. Rams lead by 3. It is 13-10. Glad to have you all here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Fans have came out in throngs to see Bluefield's basketball team so far this year. G out of the game, as well as Hurdle. Checking in Justin Warner. An inbounds pass now taken by A.J. Jones, who enters the game for the first time. Hands off Jones in the corner, underhands to Thomas. Now top of the key, a three. No good for the guard and A.J. Jones. And a rebound picked down by Bluefield's Donnell Gooch with 13:15 on the clock. Taekwon Reed enters the right side, gallops in the lane, underhands Concepcion in the corner. Now the point guard steps back. Another drive, hard step, overhead pass sails over the head of Naquan Cousins. And another turnover gives the ball right back to the Bryan College Lions, head coached by their head man and Don Rakowski, now in his 15th season in Dayton, Tennessee. 13 minutes flat left in this game. Or left in the first half, I should say, is A.J. Jones off a hard step. He is rejected in the paint by Naquan Cousins. Rams in transition. Cousins, a high jump, and he walked in the process. Well, Cousins was trying to elevate and rip that rim right off of the backboard. And it will go to Bryan again with 12:50 on the clock. Left to right, Jones, that backwards dribble. Bluefield meeting up still in that man-to-man. Out of a double team, Jones underhands to Thomas on the left side of the circle. Now back to Keaton Jones. Top of the key, the pass to Justin Warner. Feeds to Keaton Jones with 10 to shoot. Rams have stepped up the double team. Brandon Thomas lob down low to Warner, and a foul is called on Bluefield before that. Rams have been physical, and Richard Morgan a bit frustrated here. That's the second foul called on Naquan Cousins already. He came off of the bench for David Tripp. Pass into Keaton Jones, shoots for the baseline and misses. Good job by Jorge Concepcion to step down and get that defensive rebound. 13-10 Rams lead as Concepcion shimmy shakes in the lane, floats and scores. Will they count it? Still waiting on the call and the scoreboard to follow. Yes, they will. That's an and one. 15-10. Naquan Cousins walks off. Bluefield into the game goes Shields for the first time. Concepcion misses the free throw. So still, Concepcion has 5 now. 5 of the 15 for Bluefield. A.J. Jones, a hard cross-court lob onto the left side for Douglas. Out of a trap in the corner, he underhands Thomas, gives it over to Jones, who gallops into the lane and kisses it off the glass for 2. 15-12, Rams lead by 3. Can't count these boys from Bryan out. They have been quick so far. Rams have been a bit more athletic, though. Brandon Shields, the West Virginia native, waiting in the left wing. And a timeout called by Jeremiah Jenkins. And Bluefield is going to take a break for the first time in the first half. 11:46 left to go, and they lead by just 3. Welcome back, everybody. Rams leading early on, 15-12 with 11:40 left in the first half. Right back into the game, or right back into the season, is Tatum. First time he has played at the Dome as Shields misses a 3 from the right wing. Tatum scored in double figures on the road against Point. With 11:30 left to go in the first half, can Bryan tie it up? Jones picks up his dribble and gives it over to Thomas in the left wing, who puts it onto the deck. Donnell Gooch playing the defense towards the top of the circle rather than down low in the paint. Bluefield is committed to this man-to-man. Now with 10 to shoot, Jones gives to Thomas again. Around the arc they go as Douglas enters in the paint, carries like a football, misses the layup, off the backboard, pulled down. Here comes a shot from the left wing, swirls around, no good as the shot clock went off. Thomas picks it back up. And now we have to look at who shot that. That's Noah Molaski into the game for the first time. Freshman from Lebanon, Tennessee. Not too far from Nashville. Brand new start for this Bryan team, backing in the lane. Thomas, a hard spin, claps it off the glass, no good. It's tipped by Tatum into the hands of Taekwon Reed for Bluefield. Rams going right to left, transition, three, counted, Taekwon Reed. Already 9 points off of the triple for Taekwon Reed. It is 18-12 with 10.5 minutes left in the first half. Jones trying to hook off of the defense of Jeremiah Jenkins off of a screen. He steps up and tickles the twine for the triple again. 18-15. Everybody's shooting three so far. A beautiful ball screen from Brandon Thomas towards the top of the arc. So for Jeremiah Jenkins, can he get on the board for the first time? Lobs down in the left block for Donnell Gooch. He's in a double team now. Zips it top of the key, Taekwon Reed. A hard stutter step, chucks up a layup, doesn't go from the left side, and Thomas clapped in the rebound. 18-15, Rams leading by 3 though with 9:55 left in the first half. Open three for Mulaski. Swishes from the right wing, right in front of Richard Morgan to tie the game at 18-18. So just like that, after the 16-point lead, Bryan answers with 2 threes of their own. Jenkins off of a screen, skates towards the top of the circle and backs off, and now it'll be a moving screen called on Donnell Gooch, tied up with Brandon Thomas. It'll give it back to Bryan with 9:36 left in the first period. Second foul called on Donnell Gooch, and the 5th one on Bluefield as a team. Bounced into Mulaski, and A.J. Jones will take that ball up. E.J. Bush not into the game. Passing to the right side. It's Austin Douglas. All around they go, and they feed it onto the left block. Justin Warner kisses off the glass to take the lead for Bryan. 20-18. They have now scored 8 in a row after Taekwon Reed fired a triple right in front of the arc. Bluefield now with Tatum in the left block, zips top of the key. Around the arc they go for Jenkins. Screen set up for Jenkins, down a double team, a crossover dribble, underhands the Shields, lost the ball, tipped, back down to Jenkins, and the pass is picked off by Brandon Thomas. Bluefield had a good screen that time from Ben Grove, but couldn't get anything done from it. Under 9 minutes left to play in the first half, Jenkins has been stepping up that defense towards the timeline. Just pass to Warner off of a head fake, bounces left block Thomas. Under pressure in the double team, lobs it out. Here comes Turner, picks it back up and hands off Thomas. A head fake from the left elbow, backs into Shields, underhands around the arc. Jones hopes for help, and the shot clock runs out. 20-18 the score. David Tripp re-enters the game. Grove goes out. Rams are down by 2, 20-18 against a team that has given them some trouble in the past, but we have not seen E.J. Bush. Right now for Bryan, they have the personnel of Mulaski, as well as Justin Warner, Brandon Thomas, and Austin Douglas, with Javonte G matched up with Jeremiah Jenkins on the point. Underhands Tatum, passes the ball around the arc. Concepcion in the right wing, head fake, enters inside the paint, bounces left corner. David Tripp chucks up a three and misses, and the pass is instead a shot that goes down into the hands of Javonte G. 20-18 lead for Bryan, up by 2 here in the Dome. G spins around, off a screen, stays in the right wing, passes top of the key to Warner. Around the arc they go, an entry pass to Brandon Thomas, matched up with Grove. Hooks his way into the paint, fires from 5 feet, and swishes to make it a 4-point game now, 22-18, as the floater fell for Bryan. Rams on a bit of a scoring drought here. They're up by 6, and now Bryan on a bit of a run. Concepcion matched up in the left wing, gallops towards the top of the key, takes a head fake, arcs it out to Jenkins, shoots for 3, nowhere close. That hit the top corner of the basket, pulled down by Bryan. Here they come with 7:25. A shot and a miss. That time it was Mulaski, and a foul called on the rebounding efforts. Bluefield will get it back. Goes on Austin Douglas in a timeout call by Don Rakoski. Bluefield down by 4. A run for the Lions with 7:21 left to go in the first half. Welcome back, everybody. Bluefield on a bit of a drought here. 10-0 run for Bryan. They were down 18-12, and Taekwon Reed trying to end that here. Picks up the ball in the left elbow, arcs it out on a new pass. Underhands to David Tripp, lost the ball into the right wing. Steps into a pass for Jorge Concepcion. Now with 12 to shoot, zips a pass out of bounds, and it goes straight to the crowd. So Bryan gets the ball back. Rams now with Tatum on the floor, matched up with a point guard. Rams are down by 4, 22-18, 6:50 on the clock. Warner feeds in the corner for Douglas. Entry pass right block to Thomas. Spins down the baseline on Ben. Grove muscles up a shot, and Grove tipped it back out to Bryan. So here comes Mulaski with a fresh shot clock, 6:40 left, as Bryan takes the ball left to right, and Javonte G will slow it down. Screen posted up with G, matched up with Taekwon Reed. A good defensive stance for Bluefield. G, a crossover dribble, goes into the lane and is fouled by Taekwon Reed. Reed did not keep his feet set, and that's the 6th foul on Bluefield already. Pass into the corner, Mulaski. Underhands to Warner, pops from the elbow. Misses from 15 feet, and Grove pulls it down. Here comes Bluefield. Can they end the scoring drought? Taekwon Reed gives to Concepcion, carries into the baseline, and it will be a foul called before that. Isaiah Tatum ready to inbounds for Bluefield. By the way, that's the first foul called on Warner and the 14th foul for Bryan. Tatum gives to Concepcion, shoots from the baseline, and rattles it through the 10. Finally ending that scoring drought, 22-20. Rams back within 2. 6:05 left to play in the game. Before we go to halftime, Ante G carries the ball over midcourt. Tatum, great defense for the young man. In the left wing, spins out of the defense, underhands a pass. Austin Douglas turns off of the dime. 24-20, great pass from G. Had the foresight to just underhand dish it to the young man in the right block. So here's Tatum in that corner. Spots for a screen, he'll get it from Ben Grove. Carries to the free throw line, passes Taekwon Reed. A head fake, returns. Tatum didn't have the open shot he wanted, instead loops along 2 and misses near the top of the circle, and a defensive rebound pulled down by Bryan's G. 5:23 on the clock. G matched up with Tatum again. Bumping off of defense, goes to the right elbow and picks it up to give it around to his point guards. Here comes Douglas. He fires and hits. Austin Douglas from 17 feet gives Bryan a 6-point lead. Rams down by a couple of possessions, largest lead of the game for Bryan. Round the arc they go again. Bluefield has stalled out offensively. Give to David Tripp, steps into a triple, swish. You saw this in the game against Bluefield State. David Tripp was the antidote for Bluefield to get out of that slow start against the Big Blues. Ended up winning that game by 14. Now they're down by 3, 26-23, 4:40 before halftime. Monte G underhands top of the key to his big man, and Riley Dempsey, who got the start. Dempsey gives a screen to Mulaski, who has to pick up his dribble and bounces it right back to Dempsey. Backs in off Ben Grove, spins and hits an ugly layup. Rather, he missed it that time is what I should have said, as Jorge Concepcion goes coast to coast, misses the layup. Rebound picked away by Bryan's Austin Douglas. A couple of ugly short shots by both teams. Douglas a head fake, right block, misses the reverse layup, but is fouled in the process on Ben Grove, stopping the clock at 4:11. Richard Morgan getting a bit frustrated. The Rams, off to a slow start. They did win on the road in overtime against the Skyhawks. So now eyeing their second AAC win. First shot goes for Douglas. 27-23. And both of them go. 28-23, 4:11 on the clock. Rams are down by 5. New point guard in for Bluefield. It's Trent Dunn as he takes the ball right to left, and Olatunji Ibafemi is into the game for the first time. He actually bumped into Taekwon Reed as he steps into a right wing three. It's his 4th three of the game. The guard from Raleigh, North Carolina is getting it done, 28-26. Rams are down by 2. And the defense stays strong, and Trent Dunn to give Bluefield a chance to tie up the game or take the lead. Douglas hands off towards the top for Keaton Jones, who passes into the left wing for G. 14 on the shot clock, almost picked the ball loose. Trent Dunn is on G like glue with 10 to shoot. G gallops into the lane, loops and scores off of the right hand to make it 30-24. 30-26 rather. 3:22 on the clock. Rams are down by 4. A pass towards the top of the key for Ibafemi. Two-sport athlete at Bluefield. Crossover dribble, give to David Tripp. Lets a 3 fly and misses from the far corner. Pulled down by Jones going the other way. Lost the ball at the free throw line in a triple team. Bounces, and it's picked away by Donnell Gooch. Here comes Bluefield. No numbers, but Taekwon Reed does not care as he steps and is fouled by G, who got up off of his back like Shawn Michaels did in the WWE with a kick-up move. That'll be a foul called on him, though, his first, and the team 5th. Stops the clock at 2:56. Inbounds pass ensuing for Trent Dunn. Freshman point guard from Raleigh, North Carolina, Richard Morgan and Ryan Moody really like dipping into that North Carolina basketball factory. Pass to Ibafemi into the left wing. He corrals it off of a bounce with 2:50 left to go. Pass to Donnell Gooch. Hard pass to David Tripp. Spins in the lane, forces it with the right hand, and kisses it off the glass. Makes it 30-28. Rams back within 2 again. A.J. Jones galloping across midcourt. Dunn is still on him. Jones slipped up, nearly lost the ball, and goes under the baseline. Passes in the corner. McLean feeds top of the key. Back to Hurdle. He misses. Lost his rebound. Picked it back away. Returns in the corner for Jones. Skates into the right block. Chucks up a shot. Air ball. Picked by Thomas. His putback rattles off of the glass. 32-28 with 2:15 left in the first half. Couple of ugly shots, but Bryan is tenacious in the fact that they have been able to pick away a couple of good rebounds. Taekwon Reed gives onto the left side for Ibafemi. A head fake for Ibafemi. Coming off of the bench, he played soccer this year at Bluefield. David Tripp on the right block. A turnaround jumper. Misses with the left hand. 32-28. McLean went down hard in the backcourt. Long pass, and it's picked out of bounds. That was Hurdle who jumped up on the Hail Mary and went out. Didn't get the 2 feet in. 32-28. Rams get the ball back after the turnover. Happy to have you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Only the second AAC game of the season for Bluefield against a Bryan College team they played 3 times last year. So can Bluefield get the win in the opening matchup of the season? Ibafemi drives down the lane, fires from 2, swish. Good recognition by Olatunji Ibafemi to find the space and get the baseline jumper to fall. Now with a minute and a half to go, Keaton Jones in the face of David Tripp hits the 3. Richard Morgan has already lost the coat. He is frustrated with David Tripp. Came down saying that he got a piece of it. 35-30. Rams are down by 5. David Tripp into the left wing. Head fake matched up with Douglas. Picks it back up with 14 to go. Needs to find help. Pushes off and gives to Ibafemi into the left elbow. Contested 2-pointer. Missed off the top of the arc. And it's picked up by David Tripp. Bounces towards the top with Jeremiah Jenkins, the point guard, ready to give it back towards half court. 50 seconds left before halftime ensues. Rams are down by 5. Taekwon Reed steps into a triple with contact, and he missed. No foul called. Cherry picking the other end. McLean jumps into a layup and gets it to go. 37-30, largest lead of the game for Bryan. David Tripp goes into all of the Bryan defenders and has to back it back out with 30 seconds left. About a 7-second differential between it, game clock and shot clock. And Jeremiah Jenkins has every intention to keep that clock rolling. 18 seconds on the game clock now, 10 on the shot clock. Jenkins wants help, needs to get a screen from Tripp. He does. Top of the key, he shoots. and scores in the face of Douglas and makes it a 4-point game. 5 seconds left in this one. Going across midcourt. Jones bounces to Jones. Now down the lane. Keaton Jones misses off of the right hand. 37-33. Richard Morgan frustrated. Bluefield, after a hot start, is dwindled down by the Bryan College Lions. We will head to halftime with Bluefield down by 4 here at the Dome. Rams victimized by the turnovers so far as we are in halftime. Just about 5 minutes left before we start out the second half. Bluefield with 9 turnovers so far in this one as opposed to Bryan's 5. Leading the way for Bluefield, 12 points for Taekwon Reed. He's had a red-hot start. 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, and all 4 shots, of course, have been threes as he's 4 of 5, or 4 of 7 rather, from the field. On the other end, 11 points going for Keaton Dotson, who has hit 3 trays and 1 2-pointer. So the Rams trying to fight their way back, get those turnovers down to a minimum. So far in this one, they're also being out-rebounded 20-15 by Bryan. But Bryan shooting 44%, Rams shooting 44%. Bryan shooting 41%, so the Rams are shooting better, and they're also shooting better from beyond the arc. 53% for 3 and 50% for Bryan. An offensive showdown we have here at the Dome. 3:50 on the clock, and we are going to start the second half right after this. Ready to rock in the second half. Bluefield down by 4. Bryan in the red, taking the ball right to left. Rams in the white. trying to win their second AAC game of the season. Keaton Jones spins and blocked right out of the gates in the paint by David Tripp. Good start for Bluefield as Tripp anchors the ball over to Jeremiah Jenkins, zips it near corner. Jorge Concepcion turns top of the key. Jenkins lets it fly for three and tickles the twine. What an opening sequence for Bluefield. 37-36, Rams are down by one. David Tripp got that started. Richard Morgan was upset with one of his big forwards in David Tripp right before the start of the second half. And then Bluefield's David Tripp already getting the block. 19-20 left to go. Rams down by one. It bounced down low to Brandon Thomas, looking for separation against Donnell Gooch, and he lifts it in over top of the big center for Bluefield. So now it's 39-36. Rams are down by three. By the way, Jeremiah Jenkins, for him, that only is his first or second three of the game. David Tripp backs out into the left wing. Looks for someone to pass it to and finds Jorge Concepcion far corner. Off of a pump fake and 10 to shoot. He feeds into the right side for Taekwon Reed. Bounces the ball off of his foot and is picked away by Bryan McLean. Going 1-on-3 into the paint, muscles up a shot and he's fouled. Bluefield definitely did not need to foul that time because McLean was in the middle of three Rams. Donnell Gooch, Taekwon Reed, and Jorge Concepcion. And the foul is going to go on Reed. His second of the game, Bluefield's first. Well, the first shot misses. Ends up being a good foul for Bluefield. 39-36, the clock is stopped at 18:43. Bryan 3-3 on the year, coming off of a loss against St. Andrews, now 1-1 in the conference. Right-handed shooter bends the knees, lets it fly, and hits the second shot. 40-36 the score. Rams are down by just 4 points. Jeremiah Jenkins, chest pass right side, Taekwon Reed. Defense applied by McLean. Puts it on the deck, entry pass, right block to Donnell Gooch. Spins, shoots, and scores. Good step back for Donnell Gooch. Gooch doesn't score a lot of points. That's his first two of the game. 40-38. 18-18 left. Rams are down by two. Brandon Thomas, that big, tall five for Bryan at the top of the key. Now to Jones. He chucks up a shot and misses. Nobody there on the rebound except for Bluefield's Jeremiah Jenkins. Passes Concepcion, left corner three. Too hard, bounces straight into the hands of G for Bryan. Going the other way, Bryan trying to move fast. Douglas carries and scores as he Euro-stepped onto the right block and lifted the ball in. Cherry picking on the other end. David Tripp bounces and scores on the and one. Jeremiah Jenkins, a court commander, passing it down low. And David Tripp hacked on his way there for the first foul of the night on the second half for Bryan. The second foul called on Javonte G. 42-40 the score. Rams are down by two. Now for Tripp, his first free throw of the second half. Misses front rim. So the score stays 42-40. Rams are down by two. G pressured in a midcourt trap by Jorge Concepcion. Concepcion realizes it has to get back to his man-to-man. Rams defense has been stout, but the rebounding has not been as strong as Richard Morgan could like. Bounce down low, picked away by David Tripp. Rams going 2-on-1 in transition. David Tripp underhands Concepcion, and he wasn't ready as he hit him right off of the chest. Here comes G, right to left for Bryan. Steps into a pass. Keaton Jones lobs a three, misses badly. Back iron, offensive board. Douglas, his stick back, rattles home. So it wasn't a good three for Keaton Jones, but then it was put back into the basket by Douglas, a guard who was waiting on the left block. 44-40. 4-point lead for Bryan. Can Concepcion make up for it as he fires a long two and misses from near the top of the circle? And now a walk in the backcourt will be gifted to Bluefield. Jones carried as he was moving towards midcourt. Stops the clock with 16:57 left. Rams down 44-40. They were down by as much as 7. Naquan Cousins into the game for Bluefield. Cousins has not scored yet. Jeremiah Jenkins off the left side, lobs a pass into Jorge Concepcion and floats from about 5 feet on the left baseline. Makes it a 2-point game again, 44-42. 16:48 on the clock. Hip high dribble for G. Gives it over to Douglas, who passes left side McLean. Bounces towards the top of the arc and picks up his dribble. He's telegraphed a pass by Taekwon Reed. The steal on the other end. Bounces Concepcion, and he is dragged on a foul from Javonte G. That'll be the third foul on G. And it will not be a shooting foul. 16:35 on that game clock. Rams trying to tie it up again. That big 10-0 run really lifted Bryan out of the way as Concepcion gives towards the top, tracked down by Gooch and tipped into the hands of Taekwon Reed for the Rams. Drives on the right side, step back, mid-range can't go as it's pulled down, a defensive rebound by Austin Douglas for Bryan. 16:20 on the clock. Douglas, a shimmy shake towards the top of the circle. Euro step, ugly layup, bonks off of the head of Brandon Thomas. And after he can't bring in the rebound, it gives right back to Bluefield. Bryan playing a bit of ugly basketball here. And the Rams are trying to capitalize as Jenkins is driving down the court. Bryan was walking there. Off of a screen, Donnell Gooch gets off the pick and roll, elevates and can't finish, but he's fouled on the dunk. Jenkins jumped up hoping to shoot that ball for three. Instead, saw he had an opportunity to bounce the ball to his big 6'8" teammate. And Gooch was hacked in the process. So Gooch, the senior, standing in at 6'9", actually, from Wendell, North Carolina. Flicks the wrist and misses. Ball barely got to the rim. Free throw woes continuing for Bluefield. We saw in the women's game tonight earlier, the Rams were limited because they could not hit all of their free throws. 44-42, Rams are down by 2. Gooch shoots again, misses both. So ends up being a good foul as he couldn't hit the dunk. His G goes right to left towards the top of the arc, finds space, dribbles into the left corner now. Nae'Qwan Cousins steps up on defense. Under 16 minutes to play. Bounces corner, Brandon Thomas matched up with Donnell Gooch. Thomas spins in the lane, hooks with the right hand, and misses. Concepcion wrestled down that missed shot. Hoping for space as he gallops into the right wing, a crossover dribble. Matched up by Keaton Jones. Enters the paint, loops with the left hand, and misses. Some contention there on the shot from Brandon Thomas. A couple of airballed layups on either end. Now McLean for Bryan. His step towards the basket. He scores on the layup to make it 46-42, right in front of Nae'Qwan Cousins on the right block. Rams are down by 4 once again. 15:20 on the clock as Jenkins steps into a long three and swishes from the top of the circle. 1 point game again, 46-45. Jones gives to Turner, right back to Jones, right wing three. Another one nailed for Keaton Jones. Stepping into those long shots, a timeout called by Richard Morgan, halting the clock at 15:02. And the Rams are trying to come back when we come back. Down by 4 here in the second half.
Welcome back, everybody. Rams are down by 4 with 15 minutes left to go in this game. They've started out with a good three from Jeremiah Jenkins. Now has 9 points. Jenkins right end, who skates it over to Nae'Qwan Cousins in the far corner. Dribbles into the lane, reverse layup, counted with the foul. Nae'Qwan Cousins muscling his way for his basket of the night, coming with 14:46 left to go in the game.
That's the second foul called on Warner. Make it a 2-point game. Now could make it a 1-point game if he hits this free throw. Cousins, another transfer from Vance Granville Community College, like Taekwon Reed. He shoots and scores. Old-fashioned three-point play. 49-48 with 14:46 left to go. Olatunji Ibafemi stepping up on defense against Javante G. Rams trying to work a trap. Now they back out of it as G makes his way across the timeline right to left. 4 fouls, all called on Bryan so far in the second half. McLean has possession in the far corner, spins towards the baseline, backs out. Gives to Jones, around the arc they go, 10 to shoot. Warner hands off G, near corner. Out of a double team, steps into a left wing three, misses with contact, no foul called. Donnell Gooch lost the rebound, and the stick back goes for McLean. Well, that has to bother Richard Morgan. McLean just standing in at 6 foot. Donnell Gooch couldn't bring it down at 6'9", 51-48. Rams are down by 3. Taekwon Reed muscles into the lane and is hacked by McLean. He'll go to the line for 2. So another foul called on Bryan. That's their 5th foul of the night. And Reed steps towards the line. He's been a pretty good free throw shooter for Bluefield. Left-handed guard. Shoots and scores. Makes it a 2-point game again, 51-49. David Tripp re-enters, and Donnell Gooch will go to the sideline. Jenkins staying in. Rams with Cousins, Reed, Tripp, Jenkins, and Ibafemi. Rams have not led in the second half. Takes his time, a deliberate bend of the knees. He shoots, and the ball rattles in. 51-50, Rams are down by 1. 14 minutes flat left to go in the game as Warner exits. Back into the game for Bryan goes Clay Hurdle. McLean passes on the right side of the backcourt. Here's Javante G, a full court man-to-man for Bluefield. Jeremiah Jenkins trying to make this tough. 51-50, Rams are down by 1, 13:50 on the game clock. Hurdle, kind of a mismatch with Naquan Cousins. Cousins over top of McLean. Sidearm pass onto the right wing for G. Entry pass Brandon Thomas. His bounce pass is tipped away and stolen by Taekwon Reed. Coast to coast, jumps and misses. David Tripp, the putback counts. Rams have the lead for the first time in the second half, 52-51, 13 and a half minutes left. Rams hoping for the defense to step up. The turnovers have been at a minimum for Bluefield in the second half. G shoots and misses on a right arm layup on the no chance side of the basket. He was almost behind the backboard and let it fly. He was hacked in the process though, so G will go to the line to try to tie it up or take the lead. First foul called on Jeremiah Jenkins all game. And the second foul called on Bluefield. G wastes no time and takes an ugly free throw. Barely hit the rim. Bends the knees, shoots, and hits 1 of 2. All tied up now, 52-52. Rams have fought back. Jeremiah Jenkins goes across the timeline. Rams have a bunch of shooters out there now. Ibafemi cross-court lob. Reed steps over to David Tripp in the left wing. Crosses over towards the top of the circle. Now enters the paint. Overheads Ibafemi now with 13 to shoot. Fade away from the left elbow. And Ibafemi in the face of a defender makes it count. 54-52. That was a contested shot, and Ibafemi nails one of the more impressive efforts in the game. Rams back up by 2. Full court press is on as Naquan Cousins will be in front of Clay Hurdle, the inbounder for Bryan. Bounces, and it goes through the legs of G. A foul is called on Jenkins. Rams are upset. That was questionable there. It'll be the second foul called on Jenkins. And the third foul as a whole on Bluefield. Oh, they're going to keep it on Naquan Cousins. That's his third foul. Not called on Jenkins. Passes to Brandon Thomas, gets it across the baseline, and now in trouble in the backcourt. Clay Hurdle out of a double team. He'll run it across the timeline with space. Picks up his dribble at the top of the circle. Underhands Jones, lets it fly for 3 from the right wing. No good, and Cousins is fouled hard on the rebounding effort by Clay Hurdle. That looked a little bit dangerous there as Naquan Cousins got popped in his noggin. Had to take a long blink and seems to be okay. And it will be the 6th foul on Bryan in the second half. So the first foul on Clay Hurdle. Rams catching a break, up 54-52. Inbounds pass to Jeremiah Jenkins. Rams looking to go up by 2 scores for the first time in the second half. Draining the ball around the arc. In the right wing, Jeremiah Jenkins lobs down in the right block for David Tripp. A stutter step move, picks it back up off the deck with 13 to shoot. Pivoting and finds Taekwon Reed in the right wing. 10 to shoot now. Reed starts to attack the rim. Passes out the left wing. Jeremiah Jenkins enters inside the paint. Passes in the right block. It's tipped out of bounds off the hands of David Tripp. Rams were thinking too much as the clock started to dwindle down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. And it gives it right back to Bryan. 54-52, a 2-point lead for the Rams with 12:07 left in this game. Rams meeting with a man-to-man defense on top of Javonte G. And into the game goes Molaski for the first time in the second half. McLean in the left wing, overheads a pass to Molaski, feeds on the right side for Austin Douglas, or rather that's Hurdle. Bounces on the corner for Thomas, feeds back to Hurdle, and the backdoor cut almost ended up with a basket, but it rattled off of the rim. Picked away by Bluefield's Naquan Cousins. Here comes Jeremiah Jenkins, underhands Ibafimi in the right wing, and the Rams slow it down again. Bluefield trailed by 4 at half, now try to go up by 5 as Taekwon Reed misses the 3, and it's wrestled out of the air by Brandon Thomas for Bryan. 11 and a half minutes to go, 54-52, Rams leading by 2 as Javonte G jumps into the lane, draws a foul, and scores on a beautiful and one to tie it up. Free throw could give them the lead. Shot missed by G, so we stay tied here. By the way, that foul was on David Tripp, his second and a team 4th in the second half. 11:17 on the clock. Rams advancing the ball left to right. Cousins on a head fake, underhands near corner. David Tripp jumps into a triple, too short, missed, and rebounded by Dempsey of Bryan. Here comes Bryan on the other end. 54-54, 11 minutes flat left to go in the game, and G backs it up towards the Rams logo right in the middle of the court. Hopes for help, finds a cutting man, and instead gallops into the left wing without any sort of defense. He passes in the corner, Clay Hurdle. Rather, that's Molaski, feeds it up to McLean, jumps into a triple, and nails it in front of his own bench. Lead shifts back to Bryan, 57-54. Rams can't get sleepy on some of these drives from Bryan. It's a 3-point lead for the Lions. Taking the ball left to right, Taekwon Reed into the right wing. Spins a pass top of the key, Ibafimi. Returns Reed right wing. Passes free throw line, Naquan Cousins. Entry pass, David Tripp, right block. Out of a triple team. Hook shot can't go. Naquan Cousins, offensive rebound. Stick back goes with the foul. Cousins has this ability to just out-muscle you under the basket. And that time he elevated and scored with his opposite hand. Now Gooch returns into the game as David Tripp is out. He has 3 fouls. 57-56 with a chance to tie it up here. Naquan Cousins hit both of his free throws earlier. Cousins with a chance to tie it. Shoots and scores. 57-57, back into a tied game with 10:17 left in this contest. And the Rams go to 3-0 on the season. A hard bounce pass off of the foot of Bluefield's Naquan Cousins, and they won't call a kick ball as it rolls out of bounds. It will stay with Bryan anyway. All knotted up at 57-57. Rams win into halftime trailing by 4. They have worked back to tie it up. McLean off the inbound, shoots a mid-range and misses. Good hard-fought rebound. Cousins elevates a pass to Ibafimi. His layup can't go on the cherry-picking effort as it goes off of the backboard like a brick. Here comes Molaski, chest pass on the right side. Douglas carries in the lane and is fouled on the way there. Will it be a shooting foul? It'll be the 5th foul on Bluefield either way, and yes, it will be a shooting foul for Austin Douglas. Third foul called on Taekwon Reed, the Rams points leader. 57-57 the score as Douglas shoots and scores to make it 58-57. David Tripp back into the game. Rams have worked up a ton of fouls as Ibafimi walks out. David Tripp lines up on the right side of the paint. Cousins goes towards the top of that left elbow. 9:55 on the clock. Douglas bends the knees and scores both free throws. 59-57 here at the Dome. 9:50 left in this one. Lead has shifted a ton of times. It has been tied a ton of times. It's been a fun basketball game. Naquan Cousins skates down the lane, backs it out. Jeremiah Jenkins, pro-length triple. Yes, sir! 60-59. The Rams have the lead right back as the sophomore from the 7-5-7 gets it done from the right wing. 9.5 minutes to go. Douglas straight down the lane. He goes, and he's blocked by David Tripp. Bounces off the front iron, and a jump ball is forced. Dempsey was tied up with Bluefield, and it goes the way of the Rams. Jeremiah Jenkins almost hit that one from Mars. 9:20 in the game. Can the Rams find a way to get a consistent lead here, leading by just one? Just pass into the corner for Naquan Cousins, has the ball over his head and returns top of the key, Jeremiah Jenkins. A big size mismatch as he's matched up with a 5. Passes to Taekwon Reed. Open lane as the gates parted like the Red Sea. 62-59. 8:55 in this game. Rams lead by 3. Down the arc they go. Here's McLean in front of his teammates in the corner. Passes onto the right block. Shot for Dempsey, misses the layup. Tipped out for Jenkins. Rams going 3-on-3. Jenkins bounces Taekwon Reed. Head fake. Euro step in the lane. Zips it far corner. Jenkins for 3. Back iron, no good. David Tripp, offensive board, and he sticks it right back in. Tripp fell hard on his ankle. Seems to be a bit hurt. But that'll be the biggest lead for Bluefield in this game. 64-59. In the second half, I should say, they led by 6 in the first half. And Tripp seems to be hurt. Trying to shake this one off. Richard Morgan, as well as some of the training staff, talking this one over with the sophomore. Or rather, for Bluefield, David Tripp, a senior, just a second year at Bluefield, though. As we will take a break, David Tripp gets back on his feet. We're going to be right back. 8:29 left to go in the game. 64-59, Rams lead. After the timeout, David Tripp is off of the floor. It is 64-59 with 8.5 minutes to go. Rams with their largest lead of the second half at 5 points. Here's Devontae G into the right wing for Bryan. At the top of the key, he picks up his dribble and passes to Douglas, who feeds on the left side for Mulaski. 15 to shoot, 8:12 on the clock. Bryan in a bit of an offensive skid as they trade the ball around the arc. G feeds Mulaski, lets it fly. Long three, too short. Rebounded by Naquan Cousins for Bluefield. Left to right go the Rams. Taekwon Reed, that athletic point guard, passes on to the corner for Jorge Concepcion, who begs his teammates to back out and slow it down. Jenkins underhands to Taekwon Reed, passes across the court to Jorge Concepcion. Around the arc they go as Naquan Cousins has it now, begs for separation, and hits the free throw length shot. 66-59, a 7-point lead for Bluefield, and 7 minutes and 35 seconds are on the game clock. 5 fouls for Bryan, or rather for Bluefield, 7 fouls for Bryan. So the Rams are in the bonus. Cross-court lob. These are hard passes for Bryan as G off a Euro step, passes on the left side. McClain lost the ball, bumped out of bounds, off of the hands of Taekwon Reed. So we'll be staying with Bryan. 13 on the shot clock for the Bryan College Lions, coming from Dayton, Tennessee. Trying to avoid losing 2 in a row, and 2 in a row here at the Dome. 8 seconds to shoot now. G backing up towards the free throw, or rather the logo, as G pops from the elbow and swishes with 2 seconds left on the shot clock to make it 66-61. Rams are up by 5 with 7 minutes left. Can't let up now as Richard Morgan goes in front of his point guard and Jeremiah Jenkins. Rams are hoping for another shot here. Jenkins out of a double team. Hard pass, Taekwon Reed finding Cousins in the corner. Gates down the baseline and almost brought the house down with the dunk. Instead he missed. Ball goes off of the back of the iron and it's pulled down by G. 6:40. He almost put him on a poster there. On the clock, 6-6, 6-1 is the score. Pass on the right elbow. Douglas picks up his dribble, works a shot in and misses. Keaton Jones flying out of nowhere, got the rebound, ball's tipped into the corner, almost hit the roof of the Dome, and Jorge Concepcion pulled it down. Rams are up by 5. Jenkins from the left wing, lost the ball, passes right block, missed out by Donnell Gooch. Taekwon Reed was open in that right wing. Rams are getting ugly here. McClain into the left wing, he goes for Bryan. Now skates over towards the right elbow, backs out towards the right wing. 6 minutes flat left in this one. Bluefield leads by 5. McClain didn't want to pass it, went straight to the rack and missed. Brandon Thomas, offensive board, and rolls the ball in. Only a 3-point lead for Bluefield. 66-63. Jeremiah Jenkins hoping for help. Parked right in front of that Rams fan zone onto that far sideline. Taekwon Reed towards the top of the key. A hard pass to Jorge Concepcion. Dribbles into the lane, misses, and Naquan Cousins jumps out of nowhere and brings the house down with 2 hands. The dunk makes it 68-63. Bryan did not know where he was coming from. 5:20 left to go in the game. Monte G goes into the lane and is fouled on his way there. On the drive, called on Jorge Concepcion. Trey Spencer about to go into the game. I have not seen him yet. I'm trying to clarify, this will not be a shooting foul. That's the 6th foul on Bluefield, first on Concepcion. G chucks it up towards the top of the key. Douglas comes up to haul it in with 5:15 left to go in the game. Bounces left side, G, 15 to shoot. Rams going on the man-to-man defense again. G goes on a head fake, straight down the paint, misses, but he's fouled on the way there. This is going to be free throws either way. It's on Jeremiah Jenkins. Is it a shooting effort? Instead, it will not be. So it's a 1-and-1 for Javonte G. First shot, rattles around and falls through the net. Makes it a 4-point game at 68-64. Air ball the second, and Bluefield gets it back. Rams fans are letting him hear that with 5:05 left in the game. Both teams into the bonus now. Passes on the left side, Jorge Concepcion. Rams looking for a way to get up consistently here as Taekwon Reed Shuffles towards the top of the arc. Passes corner. Naquan Cousins fires a three. It won't matter anyway. An offensive foul called on Taekwon Reed on the passing effort. That's got to be his fourth and the team's eighth foul. (68-64) the score. Rams are up by 4. And it's the fourth foul on Taekwon Reed. Team 8th. 4:40 left in the second half. And Bryan muster a way to tie us up again. Keaton Jones has been quiet. Tips the ball in the corner for Brandon Thomas. Naquan Cousins providing good man-to-man defense. Hard pass in the left wing for Keaton Jones. Underhands top of the key. McLean zips a pass left block. Douglas fires up a layup and misses. Rebound Naquan Cousins. Rams with numbers 4-on-2. Taekwon Reed gets some separation. Misses the mid-range. And it goes for Keaton Jones on the rebound. Ugly transition for Bluefield, and Naquan Cousins almost pickpocketed them there. And the ball goes out of bounds on the tip. 4:08 in the second half. After the drive, Keaton Jones lost the ball at the top of the circle, and Bluefield forces them to inbounds now with 4:08 left in the game. Taekwon Reed going to the bench. He has 4 fouls. Both teams in the bonus. 4:05 left in the game off the inbounds. A hard pass fake from G, and a timeout called by Don Rakoski. With 4:02 left in the game and 18 on the shot clock, Rams lead by 4. It is 68-64. Bryan has the ball when we come back. We are back in Bluefield. Rams lead by 4. It is 68-64. Bryan has 4 minutes and 2 seconds to try to come back and make this a ball game. Rams and Lions both in the bonus, not in the double bonus. Rams have 8 fouls, Bryan with 7. G has the ball into the left wing with 10 to shoot. Rams on defense as Devin Wright is into the game. Pass into the far corner. A pump fake from Jones. Passes back into that corner for G. Goes down the baseline. 2 to shoot. Fires a layup. No good. It was off of the rim, but it's pulled down by Jorge Concepcion for Bluefield anyway. Rams going left to right as we see it here on the screen on Rams Digital Sports Network. For Bluefield, Isaiah Tatum also into the game. Onto the corner, here's Naquan Cousins from the elbow. He shoots and scores on a drive down the paint, hooked with the right hand, and made it a 6-point game. 70-64 the score. 3:18 left. Tatum providing defensive pressure on Javonte G, staying right in that Rams logo with 3:10 on the clock in this game. G into the right wing, hoping for some space. Naquan Cousins bumps into Tatum on the screen, leaving Douglas wide open for the easy 2 on the right block. 3 minutes left. Tatum takes the ball up for Bluefield. Donnell Gooch into the game. This is the time where Jorge Concepcion or Naquan Cousins could really take the game over. Round the arc they go. Tatum into the right block. Entry past Naquan Cousins, right elbow on a head fake with Douglas. Hopes for separation, crossover, fires a fadeaway, and banks it home off of the window. Using the square to his advantage, makes it 72-66. 2.5 minutes left. G hoping for help. Now Tatum, a defender, almost let him go. Into the right wing, a bounce pass into the corner. Thomas had to track it down. The big man picks it up and hands it off to Jones, who fires a three. Too hard. Naquan Cousins almost tipped that ball out of bounds, but instead it goes off of Bryan's Austin Douglas. Very close call there. Bluefield gets the ball back with 2:15 left. Rams hoping for a 3-0 start. Bounce into the corner for Ibafemi. Zips top of the key, and another bounce to Tatum onto the left wing. Cousins has it again at the left elbow. He's been the hot man for Bluefield. Lost the ball there as it's picked away by Douglas into the hands of Brandon Thomas. Under 2 minutes left, 72-66. Rams lead by 6. G drives down the left side of the paint, retreats back out, now in a double team, tries to get a pass off, still pivoting, and a timeout called by Bryan. Great defensive pressure there for Bluefield, and it stops the clock with 1:45 left in this one. Rams lead by 6, 72-66. Welcome back, everybody. Javonte G forced to call a timeout and chucks it up on the inbounds pass to Brandon Thomas at the top of the circle. 10 to shoot now, working the ball around the arc into the left wing. G, 8 to shoot, under pressure. Rams defense sticking hard. 72-66 as Jones rattles home a triple to make it a 3-point game in the right wing. Contested shot for Keaton Jones, and he makes this a ball game. 1:20 left in this one. Rams lead by 3. Jorge Concepcion in the left wing. Passes top of the arc for Olatunji Ibafemi. Underhands Tatum. Returns to Gooch. Entry past Donnell, or rather Naquan Cousins, who hits the shot with the foul. Cousins wasn't as much excited there as he was relieved. That shot fell, and he had a big side to make it 74-69. 8th foul on Bryan. And Donnell Gooch just happy on the give he gave to Naquan Cousins. That's the 4th foul on Austin Douglas. Naquan Cousins shoots, and he's perfect from the free throw line. 75-69, a very clutch basket for Bluefield. Minute 10 left in this one. Bryan needs to score, and they need to score fast. A minute 5 now as G has a crossover dribble in the right wing. Spins through the defense, scoops and scores with a left hand, and a timeout is called by Bryan with a minute flat left to go in this one. 75-71, a 4-point game here in Bluefield. 75-71, a 4-point lead for the Rams with a minute left in this one, eyeing their third win of the season and their second AAC win. Naquan Cousins pressured off of the inbounds. Rams have to get it in, and they do with Ibafemi. Cousins carrying it now left to right. Hard pass down low. Donnell Gooch fought it away, went up for two, and the ball swirled around, did not go, and they will count it anyway. A goaltending on Bryan. 77-71, a 6-point lead. Gooch almost rattled it in with the dunk, but instead it will count either way, 77-71. That got off 7.1 seconds, 52.9 on the clock now. Hard inbounds pass to G. Bryan is down by 6. Rams defense has been solid in the second half. G at the top of the arc, a crossover dribble, enters onto the right side, under the basket, spins a pass out to McLean near corner, lost the ball, picked it back up, 15 to shoot. Underhands G, 35 on the game clock. McLean a high dribble, passes, and now shoots from the right elbow. He missed. Douglas came down with the offensive board, and he's fouled by Olatunji Ibafemi. Stops the clock at 28.9, and Douglas with a chance to shoot a 1-and-1 here to make it a 4-point game. 77-71. Rams lead by 6. Front end of a 1-and-1, missed, rebound, Naquan Cousins. Lost the ball, picked away, shot no good, and Naquan Cousins got it back. Trey Spencer missed the layup, and now he has to foul Naquan Cousins, who can take a couple of shots here to push this out of reach with 22.9 seconds left in the game. Cousins has been the big difference in the second half. Didn't have any points in the first half. And now he can be the Iceman here, 77-71. Should I say the Sandman putting them to sleep. A 1-and-1 for Cousins. First shot. It's in. 78-71. Rams lead by 7 with just 22.9 seconds left. Bends the knees, he shoots. Misses that time, so McLean comes down with a defensive rebound for Bryan. 20 seconds, shot clock is off. McLean gallops into the lane, scoops and misses the layup. Ball is loose, tipped into the hands of McLean. Lost it, right block, bad shot off of the backboard, tipped around and still loose again. Wrestling forward, and Cousins comes down with the ball, and a foul will be called on the Lions with 7.8 seconds left to go. So this looks like it'll be a win for Bluefield. Down at half by 4. It was 37-33. Rams came out gunning. 3-point shots fell a little bit more, and they pressured Bryan into taking some uglier shots on the other end. That's the first foul called on Brandon Thomas all game. Now on the double bonus is Bluefield. Naquan Cousins flicks the wrist and scores. 79-71. So Bryan will go to 3-4 and 1-2 in the AAC. As Cousins hits both. 80-71, largest lead of the game for Bluefield. Pass into G with 7 seconds left. Into a triple team, goes straight to the rack. He scores with 2.4 seconds on the clock. Cousins will pass it in. Still pressured. Ibafemi catches, and that is the ball game. After being down by 4, Bluefield gets the win 80-73, and Bluefield feels it now as they are 3-0 here in the 2018-2019 season. Well, that'll do it from our coverage of Rams basketball here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Reminding you the final score of the men's game. My name is Bailey Engel. 80-73 here at the Dome. Rams improved to 3-0 on the year.